Hey people, injured here, everyone. Fedrid Folly, blue side. We have Adila rocking an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Up against, on the red side, is GrandPiano as a Mekboy, teleporting hero that fights range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair. He's a pretty useful little orc, going mid early on to grab this contested power. Wants to shoot some stuff here, I guess. Could have come up and maybe grabbed this northwestern power, contested also, which is maybe a little bit easier to hold. This is a bit isolated. Double shooters, all of the Daka, please. These are the Blood Axes orcs with these caps on. Not sure where this comes from, orcs wearing caps, but it does amuse me. Adila with scouts either side of the tactical marines. Looks like Apothecary is going to run into some trouble over here. Not the scariest melee hero by any stretch, but if he gets involved with some tier 1 range squads, he can have some fun. And by fun I mean kill stuff, which I'm sure is pretty fun for Space Marines. They're probably conditioned that way. Mekboy taking some shots mid, trying to finish his cap here, and does so, barely, and has to teleport away and retreat away. In fact, you have sluggers, nope, scouts capping the southeast, not sluggers. Where are those fellas? They're red for a start. Here they are. Apothecary took a bit too long to move in here. Now he has to face sluggers and he doesn't want to do that. Daka and sluggers is painful, it turns out. Used a heal on himself, backing away into the tactical marine support. Some scouts moving in too, trying to get those sluggers out there. Now they switch targets to the tactical marines. That's a mistake, I think. I would have stayed on the Apothecary there. He got very, very low. Sluggers did get their burners up, but they are forced to retreat, and now lots of Daka coming in on the tactical marines. Here comes the Mekboy too. Not sure how much damage he does by default. Must be around 30 or so DPS to Mekboy. Ganket is big shooter, of course, which gives him almost 40 DPS or something. Pretty damn good. Shotguns up here. Might see another shotgun up on these other scouts too. Cane Boy on the way for GrandPiano, usually used as a way to get some melee superiority early on. But hey, you can send them into some marines alongside sluggers too. Scouts will cap mid here. We do have a... no generators up. For anyone. Who needs generators? No other upgrades for Adila. Most likely now straight into a tier 1.5. Devastators perhaps once he spots the Pain Boy. Here he is. Support sub commander for Orks. Has a very nice heal over time that can only target Orc units. And gets us into some melee too with a damage over time weapon. Scouts getting caught by Daka, using their shotgun blast and now fleeing, I guess. Yep, they did get that VP though. Single cap now for Adila. Mekboy though is on his natural, now going to take some shots from tactical marines. I don't think he's going to finish that cap. That's going to be very dicey. Teleports away and retreats away. Here comes the Pain Boy. Not much support for him, but we'll see what he can do. Puts the heal over time on himself. I believe it's called Git Juice, or is it Git Sauce? I always forget. He's in there. Smacking away. You see that sidearm shot he does there? That one. That's actually a melee attack. There's just one of his melee animations, which is pretty cool. Just shoot someone point blank in the face. 483-404. Double cap now for GrandPiano. Nice little push there to keep Adila pegged back. Shooter boys with a knob leader here. He can shoot pretty good himself. And these scouts have a grenade. Could be very nasty for sluggers moving in. And dropping a model in heavy cover there. Tactical marines moving up. We might see them try to force melee combat. Those scouts getting caught. Shooter boys are really good at killing scouts, it turns out. You're going to shoot the crap out of them. Assault marines on the way for Adila. Could lead to some very interesting fights with sluggers supported by a Pain Boy and perhaps by the Mekboy himself up against assault marines supported by an Apothecary. That was a very nice grenade. Killed like 5 shooters, it seemed like. Effective, very effective. This contested power is red, by the way. No node on it though. We do have some power bashing thanks to the sluggers with their burners. One generator down, most likely going to get jumped here by the assault squad when they come out. And here they are. Heavy armor can jump on you and disrupt you, which is pretty useful. See that up arrow indicator on their icon there, denoting that they have some kind of rapid mobility stuff going on, be it a jump or a teleport or burrowing underground. In their case, it's a straight up jump. Getting those sluggers out of there. 436 to 399, 2-to-1 cap for Adila. See what effect these assault squad fellas can have. With the sluggers off the field, they're going to have free reign, you would think, to jump on stuff and scare it off. Real bullies in Tier 1, these guys. Allow Space Marines to be a lot more aggressive rather than waiting. Saw a lot of the engagements Adila was waiting for the Orks to approach. But with these guys, you can initiate and kind of dictate where the fight takes place. Here's the Pain Boy, though, and gets them off the field with the help of those Shooter Boys. No Apothecary around there to support them with the heal. He's getting the customized Stormbolter. What's going on over here? Scouts on capping duty. These guys with the shotguns. The other fellas do not have shotguns, but they do have that grenade, which we saw used to fantastic effect around this area. Here's some dead bodies as evidence. Mekboy with his battery pack. Have a taste. Nice on-demand heal, especially on a teleporting hero. That's pretty damn useful. Here's that Stormbolter. What is the DPS for this thing? Just over 30. Not bad. And full auto is fantastic. Can use it to shut down that Pain Boy. Do these fellas get away? Barely. Pretty damn close to dying. And here's some shooters with the global buff from the mech. More Daka, I think it's called. Reduces the cooldown of their weapons, I think, so they shoot more often. Mekboy in retreat here. Guess just wants to get some health back, I guess. Sluggers staying near to their Pain Boy. Of course, they can get their Slugger Knob in Tier 2, who's a pretty fearsome melee fighter. Those guys, of course, named after their sidearms, which are called Sluggers. Maybe the worst ranged weapon in the game at around about 1 DPS. And that is, of course, if they hit you in the first place. Here they come. Found some Tactical Marines with Flamers getting in there. But there's the full auto shutting down the Pain Boy. The Submarines now coming in, but have to retreat. Sluggers able to survive despite the Pain Boy being down. Now have a taste heal. Well, not down. Out of action because of the stun. I think with the Assault Marines kind of caught out of position bashing there. Made it a little bit easier for GrandPiano to push against it. But that's going to be a fun fight when all things come into play with the full auto and the Pain Boys and the Sluggers and the Avataste and the Apothecary stuff. Going southeast to cap up this. No, he's going for a power bash maybe. Looks like the Mekboy is going to be capping and these guys are going to shoot up some generators. Dilla's there to defend. Tier 2 now for GrandPiano. Weird Boy would do pretty good here. Burn the Sluggers, take down a node. But now need to get out of there. And that's a long retreat back for GrandPiano. Adila is very close to taking up himself. He scouts here with some pretty good foot speed, as you can see. Able to get around and cap stuff. Submarines maybe a little bit close to losing a model there, but would have been pretty unlucky to do so. Very rarely is all of the damage focused on one model. Though you can do that sometimes when a unit is capping, because usually it's one unit, one model of the unit, slightly further forward, so you can shoot the crap out of that fella and kill him. More power bashing this time from Adila. Does get Tier 2 going. Flamer Tactical Marines, very good power bashing unit, but they're not firing right now. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. Down goes a node. Lost a little bit of bashing time there, not firing that Flamer. Sluggers with the knob leader queued up already. Look at his face, he's pretty damn mean. There's a jump, and there's a whole bunch of Daka. Might need to back away, shooters. Here come the Sluggers. Can he get the full auto on the Pain Boy? Where the hell is the Pain Boy? He's in there. This is a dicey fight for everyone involved. Drop pod coming in, Tactical Marines coming out of it. And now they can reinforce off it, but Assault Marines going down. Wow. I took my eyes off him for a second to look at the drop pod, and down they went. That drop pod, of course, not reinforcing units on arrival any longer, but you can reinforce off the drop pod once it's landed. But that was a painful fight for Adila. Dropped a Tactical Marine, dropped a couple of scouts, and dropped an entire assault squad. Storm Boys on the way. GrandPiano did drop Shooter Boys though, and they were upgraded Shooter Boys. Storm Boy's on the way. Jump troops from Orks with power melee weapons alongside a Pain Boy and upgraded sluggers. That's some scary melee to deal with. Might want a melee dreadnought, Adila, but much easier said than done when you have this amount of resources going on. Double cap here for Adila, but certainly on the back foot now, I think, with Storm Boys and sluggers against double tactical marines. Gets shotguns up on the second scout squad, which I think is smart. Shooter Boy is happy to get into melee combat there. We do have tactical marines with a sergeant. Might be looking to upgrade these fellas to Stern Guard veterans, which reinforces their models. So if you find yourself with only a couple of models left on your marines and they have a sergeant, you can just call in some Stern Guard veterans. Here's those Storm Boys with their own Nob Leader. That guy has heavy melee damage with that huge chopper. So bad news for pretty much the entire Space Marine roster, if they can survive. Notorious for bleeding models, these guys. Some people just call them bleed boys. Sluggers capping, down to 4 models, but still happy. If they're fighting, they're happy. Bashed over here, doesn't look like GrandPiano is super upset about losing generators over there. Storm Boy's jumping away from trouble, going up to their Pain Boy. He's got his stronger Git source, and also in tier 2 gets the ability to make Orks explode, doing a bunch of damage to nearby units, which is kind of useful. I think there's a delay on it after you activate it. Uh oh. Couple of feet off, a very good grenade there. Very good and sneaky grenade. Tank busters on the field for GrandPiano. Anti-vehicle unit, maybe expecting a dreadnought. Not close to one yet. Stern Guard veterans are on the field. Here they are. First company, tactical marines that can change their ammo to combat all targets. At the moment, that skull indicator tells you that they have Hellfire rounds loaded in for some damage over time. But they've been caught by Storm Boys, and with their Nob Leader, they will stun on landing. Pain Boy's there to heal, as is the Mekboy, but those guys are losing health like crazy. Wow. Not using a lot of aiming what's that to suppress things that I've seen. Could have maybe got some use out of that there on those marines. Tank busters being used to bust some generators. Pretty damn effective at it too, as you can see. Down you go. Trying to catch them on retreat, I think. Maybe double grenades. There's one. Not quite flush. But they killed some of them on retreat. At least one of them. One of them. Adila has avoided any losses there. So is able to build up some kind of resource buffer to maybe get a dreadnought up. 329, 161 on the VPs. Adila still with a sizable VP lead. But GrandPiano playing it well so far in tier 2, I feel like. Assault squad loss was brutal. But you can recover. Apothecary have any other war gear? Yep. Improved medical equipment is up. Tactical marines letting sluggers get way too close, and these guys might get hit pretty badly by Storm Boys. There's full auto, and there is Angels of Death giving all of the Apothecary's infantry 50% damage reduction and immunity to knockback, helping these Stern Guard go toe to toe with Storm Boys, but not forever. It was a nice idea, but I think that was a pretty dicey situation to use that in. If he had his entire army here, that would have been great. But they stood up pretty well with that Angels of Death going on. 1-to-1 cap now. Tank busters have nothing else to bash. And tier 3 for GrandPiano. Maybe those tank busters are really making Adila second guess the dreadnought. Not sure if he's ever had enough resources anyway. Scouts in trouble. Shotgun blast only saves them for so long. They do get away. That swamp them, an ability of the sluggers that reduces their range damage they take. I think increases their speed as well. Great for getting into combat, of course. Storm Boys down to 4 models. They do have their improved rocket packs. Bomber Boys is pretty damn effective. Uh-oh. Stone Guard veterans getting suppressed by aiming. What's that? And Sluggers, sorry, Storm Boys tearing them apart. But they did get away with 3 models. Not too bad. Apothecary levels to 4. Not a whole lot he can do here. Yep, getting caught by a whole bunch of scary stuff. There's full auto. Somehow stunning the Mekboy and the Storm Boys there. Hacks. Seems to be getting outmaneuvered all over the field here. Oh, nice grenade though from Adila. 3 kills off that. Beautifully done. Got 2 squads off the field. What's this? Oh, got some bashing as well. Look at that. That drop pod is still there. You can destroy those things. There's no reason as an opposing player to leave those things around. I believe you must get red and XP from or something as well. Shotgun blast there, not knocking over the Storm Boys for some reason. Shotguns unreliable in the 41st millennium. Yeah, bad fight for the shooter boys. Flamers with the AoE damage and that light infantry squad not mixing very well. 218, 161 on the VPs. Adila clinging on to a VP lead, but for how long here? Here comes the Dreadnought. Tier 3 though, GrandPiano could get a knob squad on the field. And that'd be pretty bad. Again, trying to control the Pain Boy with full auto and pour some DPS on him with the Stone Guard. Gets him off the field. Now switches targets to these Storm Boys. And as you can see, with And They Shall Know No Fear active, with that 50% knockback chance, dealing with the Storm Boys pretty damn well there with those Stone Guard veterans. That ability, I believe, is charged up by taking damage. It's one of those. Ouch. Oh wow, Slugger's super effective at chasing there. Very acrobatic sync kill. Down go those Tactical Marines. And here comes a Knob Squad. Not looking good for Adila, but here's a Dreadnought. 2 close combat weapons by default for Space Marines. Will tear through Storm Boys and Sluggers, but perhaps not the Knob Squad. It will do well against the Knob Squad with some support, but 1-to-1. 1v1 I should say. The Knobs will just outlast it. Smack. Inspiration on kill. Can he get rid of the Sluggers? Not quite. They still have their Knob leader. There's that full auto again. Heals himself. But a whole lot of Daka. Those guys were in some light cover too. Can they kill the Pain Boy? Because Nob supported by a Pain Boy is a scary thing. You see him there throwing out his Git source because he knew he'd have to retreat anyway. Shotgun blast. Dreadnought not really attacking here. What's up, fella? Trying to get away, that's why. Nice grenade again. Here's a Orks. A Orks targeting scouts. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But yeah, I don't think this Dreadnought's going to get out of it. Tank busters are there. Stone Guard veterans getting a cat. They need to be helping it. There's a triple though for Adila. Dreadnought is going to be taken down by the Knob Squad. Those guys with heavy melee damage and huge amounts of hit points. Scouts did not survive either. Adila down to 2 units now. And I think a comeback is on the cards for GrandPiano. Comeback in terms of VPs. I think in terms of roster, he's had an advantage for quite a while. But Adila's been manoeuvring pretty well with the scouts to keep the VPs up. Just got in too deep there with the Dreadnought. Chasing those Sluggers. Chasing those Storm Boys and then meeting the Knob Squad. Stone Guard veterans trying to stay in play with And They Shall Know No Fear. But gonna get forced off here. Pain Boy's done so well. So well. 30 hit points per second regen. You also get an initial little heal too. It's such an effective heal. Apothecary trying to get some shots on, but it needs to be careful. 206.55. 2-to-1 now for GrandPiano. Librarian on the way. And cancelled for a whirlwind. Trying to get some disruption against the Knob Squad. Some more disruption. Knob leader on the way. This guy, the Knob leader alone, where is he? There he is. He has like 1,050 hit points, I think. Just that one fella. Death Gun coming in late game for the Mekboy. Dealt with by scouts. Adila not giving up. Marines with a sergeant. to give them animation and no fear, I guess. And this is going to be tough. Stone Guard veterans will want to change to Kraken rounds to fight the Knobs, who are heavy infantry. But looks like they're focusing on shooting the light infantry right now. And yeah, not a whole lot could have been done there. Maybe use full auto earlier on the Knobs. I think maybe the Apothecary is moving forward there looking for the Pain Boy, but he wasn't actually here. Apothecary gets repurchased, or rather used Laraman's blessing to get the Apothecary back to his feet, I think. Tactical Marines getting a sneaky decap. 1-to-1 cap here. Adila's still in it. Still in this. Where's that whirlwind? Here it is. Artillery piece. Massive disruption potential, but not the most accurate thing around. Also, not the toughest thing around. If the Knobs just look at that thing funny, it's going to explode. They look at everything funny. I'm surprised they're not fighting these tank busters right now. There's stuff going over. I need to pay attention to this stuff. Storm Boys off the field. Adila still keeping his capping game going. What do you get next? I mean, I'm sure he'd love to get Devastators up, but with Storm Boys around, that's kind of risky. I think he'd still get Devastators up. Try and protect them with shotguns and stuff. Double Devastators would be ideal. Looks like he's going for our Librarian. Here's that whirlwind. Can you shoot something? Maybe. There we go. Hits nothing. Well done, fellas. Scouts trying to harass. These guys just bashed the power node. Maybe going for this VP now. Mekboy's there, though, with a suppression weapon. Are they going to go after the whirlwind here? Nope. Librarian on the field. Tank Buster Barrage is going to miss. Not sure what he's going to do. He's got a fancy sword. Going for his staff. Well, that's what he wants to go for then. That force barrier. But it's going to be so hard to contest 2 victory points. 76 to 55 is so close on VPs. Looks like the Storm Boys have been charged with looking after the southeast there. Nice play from GrandPiano. Covering this VP. And Nation on fear on the Stone Guard veterans, knocking over those sluggers. Contesting this VP too. Whirlwind doing its thing. Tactical Marines desperately trying to cap, not able to do it though. Here comes the Librarian. If the Librarian was in that fight, that might have been very different with the force barrier. Using Veil of Time on himself. Or that's his own thing, isn't it? I always forget the name of. Uh-oh, Knob Squad coming after him. Smacking him pretty good. Pain Boy with the Force Staff. But Knobs are a whole other matter. There's the double cap now for GrandPiano. Ouch. Is it called Quickening? The Librarian ability where he speeds himself up. Gives himself some damage resistance, I think. GG Adila. Fought to the end. And had his hands full. Strong start from Adila, but that assault squad loss was pretty tough, and I felt like GrandPiano kind of had the upper hand from then. Adila played it really well with his scouts to keep on top in terms of VPs for so long. But yeah, tough. Keep your eyes off something for a second in Dawn of War 2 and they die. Level 4 mech had battery pack and death gun. We had a level 5 apothecary, had armor of purity at the end, improved medical equipment, and a storm bolter. And the poor Dreadnought died over here somewhere. There's the remains of him. Look at him. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.